Welcome to Coming Out of the Dark podcast, a podcast like none other, where women are empowered, encouraged, and uplifted to be the best version of themselves. Get ready to come from darkness into light with a passion to fulfill purpose. Here is your host, Miss Lady O.
Welcome, Terrell.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
It is so good to be here with you. Terrell and I was just chatting away before this conversation, before we started live. I tell you, this is going to be such a great conversation. Terrell, I want you to share with me a little bit about your organization, what you're about, and just so that the listeners can get a really good feel of who you are.
Okay, so the name of my company is that Living, Loving You Well. And I was just telling my girl here, I was like, I thought of this name about 2 years ago. I don't know if it was a dream or in the shower. I get visions and thoughts and ideas when I have water. So that's how it came, because vision, my ultimate vision is for our women to take their health seriously and make it a priority, because without our health, we have nothing. We cannot even possibly think of all the riches. And riches doesn't always have to pertain to money, of course, but riches in the relationships we have, riches we have with our children or our family or people that we know, or things we do in our communities. It's a ripple effect as a woman when we are whole. And the whole means that we are good in our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional health. We rule the world.
Yes.
And that is what I am talking about. Yeah, my background is in health and wellness. I've been in health and wellness now over 20 years, and I'm a blood type health management coach. So essentially, I work with women and use their blood types in order to help them solve their problems of weight loss, reducing the inflammation, reducing stress in their lives, and gaining that confidence back in their body temple. Because a lot of times women feel not as confident when their bodies aren't where they're supposed to be. And it doesn't have to, quote unquote, be a size. It's just how you feel about yourself, right? Some of us walk in that imposter syndrome a lot with regard to our limitations. But I'm here to break all of those and shatter that for you, because as a lupus survivor and conqueror and warrior, and a person that got rid of 100 pounds and took over the last 3 years, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to solve your problem, girlfriend.
All right. Well, congratulations, one, on losing the 100 pounds. I mean, what was that journey like, and how long ago was that?
Okay, so I started my journey in 2004, and I got to my goal in 2012. So it took 8 years. Now, I'm not saying it should take you that long, especially if when you choose to work with me, it won't take you 8 years to do that. I guarantee you that. It's just the journey I walked, and I was looking to find a solution and finding bits here and there that after a while I had to develop stuff for myself that worked. And that's how I wound up getting into coaching, because I actually went to a weight loss program and a big brand that a lot of us know. And I wind up losing my last 50 with them. However, they hired me as a wellness coach, and I worked for them for 8 years. I did very well. I've helped hundreds of people, men and women, lose weight. I helped 3 people lose 100 pounds each. During that time, I worked with major corporations like Merck and Prudential and Panasonic, just to name a few. In those boardrooms, I call it. And you see the success, which is great. However, I knew deep in my heart that I needed a change, and I wanted to do this, quote unquote, my way.
Yeah.
Because I had to follow what their protocols were, but I wanted to add my own, because I would get a lot of questions that I couldn't answer because that wasn't in the quote unquote program.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm getting tired of saying, under these, I was like, I got to do something on my own. And I guess that's what the spirit was leading me to. God was like, yo, get up out of here. And I wind up going back to school. I got my certification in nutrition. So I'm an integrative nutritional health coach also, in addition to a blood type health coach. And I found my journey, because what happened with that 100 pounds is this: when you find out that you have uh, autoimmune disease or any disease, let's put it this way, anyway,
Mm-hmm.
any disease, you're either going to react or you're going to respond. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
Reaction is unexplained, you just do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Respond is I thought about it, now I'm going to implement it. So Terrell reacted to it. So when I heard and got the diagnosis, I went into denial and I started eating uncontrollably. Just give me the food. I don't care what it is. I'm just putting, I can't deal with the
Yes.
fact I have lupus. It's going to change my life. I don't have no kids yet. What are we going to do? Da, 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 da. How much money we're going to spend on
Yes.
doctors? All of this is going through my head. I just kept eating. I just kept eating. Girl, I gained 100 pounds. Can you believe that? Pounds of eating food that did not serve my body. And my doctor, I love him to death. He retired a couple of years ago. He was like my second husband. He's like, girl, if you don't stop eating, he talked to me like that. He said, you are too heavy. Do you realize with lupus, you are increasing your chances of dying? You're going to be dead. That's what he said. You're going
Yeah.
to die. He just said it. You're going to die if
Wow.
you keep this up. And I was like, what? Seriously? He said, do you want your husband to have a new wife? Do you want your kids to have a new mom? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, please.
Now, were you eating because you were afraid of facing it and doing something about it? Were you eating just to try to ignore what the
I was eating.
diagnosis in a way?
I was eating because I was ignoring it. I was doing everything opposite what the doctor was telling me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was ignoring it. I was like, I don't have no lupus. What you talking about? And then the whole thing with lupus is people don't know that you have it. It's not like someone that's handicapped in a wheelchair. That
Right.
they physically handicapped or their legs cut off or their arms are cut off. You can see that. But lupus,
Yeah.
you cannot see it. So I look quote unquote normal. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't have it. So I'm going to eat. And
So
that's how I'm
for
going to solve the problem.
so for my listeners and for myself, can you tell us like what is lupus exactly and how can someone detect it?
Okay, lupus is when your body immune system attacks its own tissues and organs. And usually, for some reason, lupus attacks your kidneys. I
Mm,
found in my journey, anyone that I've talked to, that I've been, talking to with lupus, all of them have kidney issues, some kind of way. And mine was scarred. Some of us are to the point where they have to get a replacement kidney because that's how damaging it can be. But it hits your major organs. I've had folks that I know hit their heart. I know folks that hit their central nervous system. I've had folks that had gallbladder removed. I know people that have died from
mm,
it. you know, it's so many different things that can happen to you with lupus because it's really like on the inside attacking yourself. So when you're pointing at yourself, the three fingers are pointing back
it's
at you
like
and it's
pointed back.
attacking. It's like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It's like attacking inside and eating it all up.
Oh,
And
wow.
you're not winning that way, right? And
Yeah.
inflammation just causes more effect on the body organs because inflammation really is when your body is suffering from some kind of injury or toxins or certain foods that don't work for you. So it causes joint pains, it causes headaches, it causes um, a foggy brain, foggy brain for some
Yeah.
people. So many things can happen with lupus. And the way you know that you have this
Hmm.
is 11 markers. I'll share those really quickly. And you need to have at least 4 out of the 11. And I definitely had the butterfly rash. Okay, I had that big, nice thing. Um,
Okay.
and they also, second thing is got to have certain antibodies in your blood, which is it's like an ANA test they do for you. Too much protein in your urine is number 3. You're sensitive to the light. It could be fluorescent light, it could be the sunlight, meaning outside.
Yeah.
The next one is some people have raised red patches on their skin.
Okay.
Also, the next one is ulcers in your mouth or nose. That's another way to know. You have low blood cell count. when they do your blood work.
So when they do your blood work, they can detect it
They
that
can
way as
check that
well.
too, yeah.
Do they
And
normally test for it when they do your blood work? Is that a special test, or can that come up when you do your regular, like when I go to my primary doctor and she runs, blood work, is that a part of her testing to see if I have any of those signs, or do I have to flag it for her?
I would say if you're starting to feel malaise and fatigue, because certain signs will tell you if you're tired all the time, you're gaining weight. Like I said, you're sensitive to the sun. You're getting another thing is having arthritis in two or more of your joints,
Mm,
seizures or nerve problems, and of course inflammation in your hearts and lungs. That's also. I would say there. I know there's two tests they always do when I go for my checkups. It's the ANA test, which is the antibodies in your blood, and the CBC, which I don't remember exactly what that is. I have to look that up for you. But
okay.
I would say I don't think they're really looking for that low blood cell count necessarily. It's
Okay.
probably a test you would have to ask for um, from a hematologist or your rheumatologist. And unless you have a
Okay.
rheumatologist, how would you know? So if you're going to a general practitioner and sharing your concerns of what's going on, if the doctor is dismissing you, which happens a lot in our community, unfortunately, because
Yeah.
it took them months to figure out if I had lupus. Um,
I wonder
we,
why that is, why doctors are so easily to dismiss people. I mean, they just want to go on to the next, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no,
That was just a
no,
standout
that's a good
message.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
conversation. It's a lot of reasons, and I learned this last night in our a panel for the YouTube we did with V Bailey on her show HBCU Lounge Network. Is that sometimes doctors don't have enough time. The 15-minute window, ask certain questions, get out type of thing. Some doctors don't look at the whole picture. That lupus is like trying to connect the dots, and if you don't have all the dots in a row to make the puzzle together, they don't see it. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
last thing they probably would think of you. And then in our community, it's just education in reference to our health. I don't feel, and this is me personally, I feel that we don't trust doctors enough to go in there and really share what's going on, because we wait to the last minute when things are really, 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 really bad before we go
Yeah.
to the doctor and say, hey, this isn't going on. And by that time, it's too late. And I'll give you an example. I remember it being in the gym years ago. I used to go to Lucille Roberts. I don't even know if they have that gym
I
anymore.
remember I used to go there
Remember
too.
yeah, there was a young lady I used to work out in the gym, and she was telling me, I think my sister, something's wrong with my sister. And I said, what's going on? She was like 19 and she's from Jamaica. And she said, we had to hospitalize her. And then when she said the doctor's name, I said, that's the same doctor I have, the same kidney doctor. Do you feel your sister has lupus? And she said, yeah, that's what they found out she had. But they couldn't save her because by that time it was too far gone, had attacked all her organs and she wound up passing away. And I felt so bad because see, she's 19, she's in college, so she's dismissing the signs. She's always tired, the weight was changing, all these things that, I don't think she got the rash, but other things were probably going on with her body that she just didn't pick up on and just kept pushing through, pushing through, pushing through. And by
Mm-hmm.
that time they get her up here, it was too far gone. They couldn't save her. So, things like that does happen. And I got diagnosed in 93. You're talking almost 30 years ago when they had no clue. I was a guinea
Wow.
pig girl. I was
You're a
a guinea pig.
testament because you got diagnosed in 1993. You said that then you went on, okay, so then you went on this journey where you went into denial and you started eating, right? You were eating a lot and your doctor said, "Listen, hey, wait a minute. You're gaining too much weight here. You need to lose weight." So then you transition in your mindset to say, "Okay, let me just start doing things to help me to lose weight." In that process of losing the weight, you kind of found your purpose in wanting to empower other people on one losing weight according based on your blood type. Is that
Yep,
correct?
yep.
And addition, you're bringing awareness to lupus. That is so amazing. Like you took something that could have really, put you down for a long period of time and you gave
Mm.
so much energy to it. And you said, you know what, I'm not gonna let this defeat me. I'm going to really empower other people that they can overcome as well. That's powerful.
Yeah, and then since you said it that way, I didn't really think about that, but yeah. Yeah,
I feel
you
like,
know,
Terrell, I feel like I have the gift of being able to see someone's story and just connect all the pieces together. So
yeah,
that's what, as you're telling a story, I am also hearing a story in my head. And I'm like, wow, I hope that you can even see that journey. Sometimes we
yeah,
go
I
through
see
life's
it.
journey
Yeah, I
and
see it.
we're just going through each phase, but we really don't see what God is doing. That was something so powerful. 1993.
Yeah, they didn't know nothing, girl. I mean, it was so much different compared to now that then I remember getting diagnosed by a dermatologist, not even a regular doctor. The dermatologist told me he took some skin from my scalp and sent it to the Mayo Clinic, and it confirmed that I had SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. That's all I kept saying when he came. He came back with
Yeah.
the diagnosis. I'm like, I'm die. And he says, no, you're not going to die if you listen to me. It could be a chronic condition. I'm going to send you over to certain doctors that handle that. And, I'll follow up with you later. So when I got to the specialist, the first thing they do with any autoimmune is give you drugs. And since I was not aware of alternatives, I took the drugs. And a big
Mhm.
drug is prednisone. And prednisone, for some people, they use it for asthmatics, anything that they feel they have to calm down the flare ups or the symptoms, and they use prednisone on. But prednisone has a lot of side effects. And that's what I would encourage anybody taking any medication from your physician. Always look up what the side effects are. Know thy body. Please know your body, because
Mhm.
I took that unknowingly. Well, first they gave me Cytoxin. So I said to them, that sounds toxic. The word
The word
Cytoxin sounds
itself.
toxic. It sounds toxic. Well, you need this for 6 weeks and then we'll get you this other drug. So I took it for 6 weeks, and then they gave me the prednisone. But I had a high dosage of prednisone. I had 70 milligrams every day for 9 months.
And what does that do? What ingredients is in that medication
I don't
that's
know
harmful?
exactly the ingredients, but I can tell you what happened as a result of that.
Yeah, what happened?
Since I had it for 9 months and it's a high dosage, some people, just to kind of give you a frame of reference, I know folks that have the same condition as myself, maybe on 10 milligrams, maybe 20 in a day. And then they kind of feather it down to one when your body's, in remission. Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can get off of it. But I had 70. So as a result of that, I got pregnant right after I got off the medication, which was what we wanted because the doctors were telling me not to have babies because
Okay.
they felt for women that I would miscarry, or, you'll have to get a C-section. They just didn't know. So it's better that you didn't have a family. So I told that kidney doctor to his face, I said, God is the ultimate healer,
That's right.
and God is going to let us know whether we have a family or
That's
not.
right.
And I had two beautiful kids, right? They're all grown now. Okay. So the first year, I mean, right after the 9 months, I get pregnant. And then that next year, when my daughter is born, I realized that I gained, what, 28 pounds in my pregnancy, which is very good,
Mhm.
28 pounds, but I was still hurting. And I said, what is going on with my body? So I go back to the doctor, and I said, I kept getting this hip pain, but I figured it was because of the pregnancy. But then, I had the baby and I was still hurt. They checked out in terms of x-ray and said, well, your cartilage is gone from your hip. And I said, how did that happen? They said, well, the prednisone you had. I was like, oh, don't even tell me. That's a side effect. Yes. Yes, it deteriorated the cartilage. So I had to get a joint replacement of the hip. Okay. So then I have another baby a couple of years later. Same weight, I gained 28 pounds, but remember, I'm still eating. So I'm a lot
Yes.
heavier than I was originally, right? So um, after that baby, I go back to the doctor. They put me on prednisone for 6 weeks, or 2 weeks right after baby, sorry, 2 weeks. And then by the time he was two, I'm in surgery again
Oh
for the hip, the same
no.
hip that they replaced for the joint. They said, nope, you can't handle it. You're still getting pain, which is true. And they gave me a full hip replacement.
Oh my
That's not
God.
even the half of it because it's both hips were affected. Both have cartilage gone, right? I had cartilage not that much in my knees either. I'm
Oh
the freaking bionic woman, I know.
no.
So
Oh.
so I waited. I said, this is a lot on my body. I had surgery in 95. I had surgery in 2001. They said, well, you got to get the other hip done too. And I was like, oh, I'll wait. So I'm very limited. I walk with a gait. And then, like I said, by 2004, the weight was just so much. And that's when my doctor's like, no, you have to lose this weight. So I lose the weight
Okay.
by 2012. Remember, I still got to get this hip done.
Right.
I jack up my knee. I tore my ligament, my meniscus in the front and back on the right knee. So that doesn't help because it's the right side is jacked up and the left side is jacked up because I
Yeah.
have no hip going on. So I healed that after 18 months through therapy and swimming. And then I said to myself, oh my gosh, you lost all this weight, you're looking good. I do a triathlon. I was like, that's hurting. I said, you have to get this hip done. You got to get this hip done. So I remember the year my mom was suffering with her health. And
Mm-hmm.
we knew that she would pass on because it was just the diagnosis was like, okay, her liver is gone. There's nothing we can do. She's over 75. So we knew she was
Mm-hmm.
dying. So, my mom knew about my hips. She's like, listen, this is what I want you to do. Okay. Two things you got to do because I'm leaving
Have
this
the hip
earth.
surgery.
Have that hip surgery, girl. My mother is too funny. She is a riot. She's one of those feisty people. And she said, have that hip done and you take care of your dad. Okay,
Yeah.
mom. She said, find a doctor, book the appointment. I said, well, I can't book it now. You sick, we trying to help. She said, I know you're not going to do it now, but
Mm-hmm.
get it done. I'm going to leave you,
Yeah.
but get it done. So she left us in August. I had the surgery in November on the left side.
Wow.
Yeah, that on my side.
She
So
put
that's
it
been
on
my
your radar. She made sure.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you feel that if she didn't do that, would you have went through the process to do it, or you would have prolonged it a little bit longer?
No, my husband was talking about it. He's like, you can't keep waiting. How many years you're gonna wait? They only last a certain amount of time, and I did really well. The surgeons were like really impressed that I can keep that pain for that long and got rid of the 100 pounds because they were like, how did you even deal with the pain this long? I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I guess I have a high tolerance for pain. But they just couldn't believe it was like what 16, 17, 18 years. I was
I
actually 18 years. Yeah, at least 18 years. I was
That's amazing because you kind of just made your pain normal. You made it a
yeah,
part of
that's what
your,
happens. That's what
you just
happens.
made it
Yep.
normal. You was like, okay, this is
Uh,
this is something that I'm going to feel,
yep.
and you just made it a part of your life
And a
and
lot of us
stuff.
do that. When I
That's why I made that mention because many of us
do that,
do that to stay in the situations that we're in. We just bring that trauma, that experience, that pain into our everyday life, and it just becomes routine instead of
becomes
facing
normal
it. Yeah.
instead of facing it. And, I shared this with a client before. I said, the pain that you are feeling with regard to your weight, you're making it normal. It's not normal to be in that kind of pain. It's
Yeah.
not normal. And I said, I could relate to it because I was in it,
Yeah.
it's not normal to be in pain. Pain is just a signal to let you know to do something about it.
Yeah.
And when you prolong it and you procrastinate, we're not being obedient. We heard that this morning in the Kingdom's Coaches show.
Yeah.
You're not being obedient to the Lord when we are procrastinating or we are avoiding stuff. Just do it. And, I have found in my journey, working with women or men, with this journey of weight loss, I feel sometimes people feel they procrastinate because they don't feel they can do it, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And for two, the process of it. It's a process to this. It doesn't happen. When I have people come to me and say, well, Terrell, can you help me get rid of 50 pounds in 30 days? Well, I am not the coach. I am not that kind of coach. I'm not going to give you a quick fix because it's not a quick fix. It
Yeah.
takes time. And your mind has to be right, because I've had people get started and they don't start, get started, they don't finish. I can't help you there. I can help you from where you at and get you to your journey, provided you do the
Yeah.
work. You got to do the work. And if you're
How
not willing to do the work, what's the sense?
how do you as someone who helps people to lose weight according to their blood type, how is that? Is it because once they provide you with their blood type, you know of a design plan to help encourage them to lose weight? Is that what it is?
Yes, I designed a program that I developed based off of Dr. D. D'Amato's. He has a book called Eat for Your Blood Type. But I took it a next step to incorporate what I've learned myself and what I've done for myself, what I know that can happen for that person. So I call it the band method.
Uh-huh.
And the band method stands for, blood typing and some other things. I audit folks in terms of their refrigerators and
Okay. That makes sense.
and then I help them nutritionally, and then I help them design a plan for them to discipline themselves so that
Yeah.
they can be successful in it. So um, that's what I do to help them solve that. And then, with my own story and my unique way of doing it, I bring that to it because, I've had clients say, oh my gosh, you're so patient with me.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have so
it's a
much energy,
process. And
you
I like
know?
that you said that. You made it clear. You was like, you know what? It is a process. So when clients sign up with you, I guess however long the program is for, I guess a part of it, you're telling them that these are different levels that they're going to feel throughout this process, right? What are some of the things that a person can expect to feel? Probably
Okay.
resistance, I think, is one of them. Resistance to change.
Yeah, well, change is not easy. Change is not easy, but if you start small, you can get big results. Matter of fact, that's a room I do in Clubhouse every Monday and Wednesday.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna pop in that room.
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
gonna pop in that
pop
room.
in that room. Um, but resistance also makes you stronger. It's almost like when we do weights training to build up our muscles, it's that resistance of the weight that makes that muscle stronger over time. And I feel when I work with clients, a couple of things they can expect is the following. First, to start feeling more confident that you can do this.
Hmm.
The next thing is seeing the actual results. The weight will come down
Yeah.
when they start eating this way. Another thing I have found is certain blood type indicators in terms of your blood work. Triglycerides will go down. Cholesterol goes down, and we know cholesterol can be a big factor for a lot of people. I've had clients, their blood pressure has decreased and become normal. I've had people being able to actually work out on a regular basis. Maybe they weren't working out at all, but now they up to 2 or 3 times a week because now their body's getting more energy. It's getting the
Yeah.
foods that are serving them that's going to give them the energy in order to move forward. Because now hey, this works for my blood, but this particular food doesn't. It doesn't serve a purpose for me. Okay. So when we learn to do that, the frame of mind starts changing, and I love to celebrate wins. I'm all about,
Me too.
hey, the smallest win, you start from there. Hey, you lost a pound this week. Let's celebrate. Your
Yes.
clothes feel, a lot different. You can get on those jeans you didn't have on before. That's a win. It might not be a scale win, but it's still a win. Hey, maybe you meal prepped for the whole week when you
That's a
never meal
win.
prepped before. That's a win.
Yes.
Anything you can do to get your body where you want to have it so that it can work for you in the long run, it's just going to be advantageous. So those are some of the things that they can see. And then the intangibles, it's just feeling so much better about yourself. Those intangibles of saying, hey, I can wake
Yeah.
up with a smile now. Maybe I'm not feeling that pain in my back anymore. Maybe I'm not feeling that pain in my knee anymore because, hey, the
I,
weight is coming off. So that
exactly.
poundage that and there's a formula that I learned from my physical therapist. What did he say? I wish I could remember how he said it. For every for every pound extra you have on your body is 4 times pressure. So since I was 100 pounds overweight, I have
Oh,
400 pounds worth of pressure on my knees.
wow. When you put it into that perspective, oh my gosh. So someone who is suffering with back pain, knees, ankles, things like that, and you find that you're overweight. Well, whatever pounds you're overweight times
Yep,
that.
times that. Yep, that's the
Oh
pounds of
my
pressure you're putting in each time
goodness.
you step, with your knee. And I was like, when I saw that in his office, I was like, oh my gosh. And he looked at me, he's like, because I came to him after the last surgery in 2019. He said, you're really athletic. And I said, well, I worked on this. I said, I was 100 pounds away. He couldn't believe it. He's like, there's no way. I said, yeah, I did
Yeah.
triathlon, I swim, I walk, I bike. I said, I worked again to get this body back. And clients, they laugh, and folks I work with, they go, how do you keep this weight off for such a long time? Because studies have shown that most people do not keep their weight off past 3 years. They gain it right back.
But
So
I
how did
always
Terrell
see
do
you
it?
walking. You're always doing some type of power walking on your reels. You're like, you know what? Let me encourage someone this
Oh,
morning
exactly.
while
I'm
I'm doing
glad
my
you
power
watch it. I'm
walking.
glad to know that you're watching it. Somebody's getting
I'm
something from
always
it.
commenting. Yeah, yeah, because I love it. I love it.
I'll keep doing it then. But I'm
Yes.
just saying is that, it's a decision. I have 3 Ds in my motto. What I share is 3 Ds. It's a decision, it's dedication, and it's discipline. Those 3 Ds you keep with you, you'll get through anything. But it's a
Yeah.
decision for me each and every day, guys. It's not something that, oh, I found the formula. Your body changes. As you mature, you get 40, you get 50, you get 60, the body's going to change. So you got to start finding ways to keep it where you feel comfortable. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's not the number on the scale, it's just how do you feel? Do you
Yeah.
feel you can get up them steps? I mean, I've had women that physically could not get up the steps, physically because their weight, and they were
Yeah.
suffering with all these other things I talked about before, right? But when we work together, it's like, wow, I can get up the stairs without huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
I can walk down the block. Now I can walk 2 blocks. Now I can walk a half a mile. Now I can walk a mile, Terrell. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
See, when you allow yourself to get coached or served by someone that generally has your best interests at heart, and you're willing to accept the coaching and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so many big results happen from it because you're
Yeah.
you're you're open. You're open. You're willing to change, and it's not going to be a straight line. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, and that's the way life is. You got to be ready for that. And
How do you get ready for that? How do you
okay.
prepare yourself
Let
for
me
the
tell
ups and
you.
downs of life?
Let me tell you. Give yourself margins. I always give myself margins for that because certain times of the year, and we all know this. What's our big times of the year? New Year's. What's another big one? The holiday just passed, Resurrection Sunday. Then it's Memorial Weekend. Then it's July 4th or June 19th for us, June 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we have September Labor Day. And then, the real kicker is Halloween all the way down to Christmas. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So let's all be real about that.
Yes.
And, I allow myself those times, or if I'm at a wedding, I allow myself to eat what I want. I'm not saying I'm going to go overboard, because there was a time when I used to go overboard. I was the girl. Let me tell you, I'm showing you truth right now.
Yes.
Not to say I wasn't before, but I was the girl when my husband and I were dating. We went to a lot of dinner parties, because I'm in a sorority, he's in a fraternity. So we go to these dinner
And what
dinners.
sorority are you with? Do
I'm
you
a
mind
Delta.
saying?
I'm a Delta.
You're a Delta.
I'm a
Okay.
Delta. He's a Sigma. And we would go to these events, and they have these great buffets, right? They have all the food, this station, the meat station, the seafood station. Blah, blah. Well, this is what Terrell would do. I would look around, take my plate, put everything on that plate, put the plate down, come back, get another plate. I ain't eat anything yet. I
Uh-huh.
have 2 plates sitting there. What's that about? That's
Yeah.
being greedy.
Right.
That's being greedy.
It's like you eat with your eyes.
Right. The
Instead of just
seafood
taking what
diet.
you need, or taking a little samples of the things that you want to want to taste, right? But
No,
it's like
I'm
we
not
eat.
talking about want to taste. I got that's not little samples. This is not appetizer hour. But that's just being greedy. And our bodies don't respond to that. You know, and trying to process that, it's going to go to fat. It needs
Yes.
stuff that's going to get it energetic, that's going to metabolize the body quicker. And eating all that food at one time is just trying for the heart and the organs and your gut, trying to figure this
Trying
out.
to process it, trying to
Try to
figure it
it's
out.
not.
What are we
It's not.
doing with all this here?
Exactly. Because if you think about um, thousands of years ago, we never ate like this.
I know.
You eat from the land, right? You eat
Yeah.
your vegetables, you eat your fruits.
And it's amazing how much better we look as individuals when we go back to that way of eating. That's why I look at people who say they're vegans or, they're pescatarians and things like that. It's just that their skin is glowing. They look so
Mhm.
healthy. Is that you? Are you a vegan? Are you
No,
pescatarian?
no, no. I'm not a vegan. I am, I guess, pescatarian,
That's,
flexitarian, whatever. Because I do
yeah.
eat fish. I eat fish most of the time, but I
Yes.
do have turkey. My husband makes me my turkey leg
Yes.
every Sunday, because I was realizing when I didn't have the turkey, I was getting these cramps again. So I was reading about it. Turkey has a certain enzyme or something thing in it that would help me with my cramps. So I started eating it again.
Okay.
So that's been helping me. But it's just so funny when you say that. Yeah, it's just about what's good for your body. I mean, I know people with type O's that eat a plant base, even though they can eat red meat. It's
Right.
your choice. I never defer people from doing what they want to do. Just kind of figure it out. But I know these particular foods are not good for you at all. If you're blood type O, if you're blood type B, if you're blood type, AB or A. Okay,
And
these
is that what
definitely
you
are
do?
not good
You
for your
give
body.
them a list. You give your clients a list of foods to stay away from based on their
Right,
blood
right. We
type.
talk
That is
about that. Yes, we
excellent.
talk about that. And then we work on what's in their wheelhouse in terms of foods that they're comfortable with eating
Mm-hmm.
and stuff they could start introducing. Maybe never tried edamame. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that might be good for your blood. Or if your tofu, like ABs are really good for tofu. Maybe you never tried it. Hey, try some tofu.
Yeah.
That works really good for your blood type. So it's a matter of kind of figuring out, each person is different. We're all bio individuals, but that's what I cater to. I kind of work on customizing stuff that works for them and what they have. And then whatever has happened in their lives, because there's certain exercises that work for blood types also.
Yeah.
So depending on that person will depend on what exercise really works for you as opposed to another exercise. I had a person that I was working with, she was like, I didn't realize I was doing all these hit exercises. And then when you let me know with my blood type B, I shouldn't be doing that. I said, yeah. She said she started feeling better. She started doing exercises that work for her. Like, what?
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, I feel so much better now. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so some, just like they have quote unquote diets, and I don't like to say that word because the word die is in diet. I like to say it's a
I
lifestyle.
didn't look at it like that.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's about
Mm.
learning how to make this a lifestyle for yourself, getting your mind wrapped around, hey, I want to get healthy. I am healthy. Because when I'm healthy, I can do so many other things. I mean, you have people that might feel a certain way about this. I know I got challenged on I forgot what Facebook I was writing or whatever, and I was talking about losing weight. And this person's like, well, it isn't all about losing weight and looking good. I said, no, that's not what I do. Weight loss is in the process. I help women feel better because they are dealing with health issues that is
Mm-hmm.
contributing to that weight. I have people that have high cholesterol. I have people that are obese and now they're diabetics, or they have autoimmune, or they have heart disease, right? Or
Right.
hypertension. These are things that we need to get rid of that can be controlled by what you're eating in your mouth and how much you're eating and when you're eating it.
Right.
That's where I'm
Right.
coming from. I'm not coming where you got to look like a size 2. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
I want you to be healthy.
I think that's what people associate weight loss to. Like you're trying to get to a particular, image that people see. Like you just mentioned, a size 2, or to their perfect celebrity that they admire, or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's like everybody's body type is different. And I like that you mentioned a little bit earlier. You said that as you get older, your body changes. And so I know for myself is that when and my body also changed due to surgery. When
Yeah.
I had abdominal surgery, and not like to lose weight or anything like that. It was like I had a health issue that I had to take care of, and I had to have abdominal surgery to take care of it. But my body did not bounce back the way that it was before. I notice now that I have a fupa. It's like that skin that hangs over. I noticed that I feel like my abdominal area is now my primary area where I need to release the weight. And that's the primary area of where I gained the weight. So when I was younger, that was not the case. So due to age and surgery, and you could correct me if I'm wrong because this is your area of expertise, I feel like due to those two areas, I that has now become my area of focus of
Mm,
wanting to target to release the weight. And I can work out, I can get on the treadmill, I could power walk, I could do all those things, and I will release the weight somewhat in my abdominal area, but primarily I'm releasing weight all like you can't target to me. It's like I can't target an area to release it. It'll release from my hips, my legs, my face. Definitely, you see it. My chest area, you'll see it, but my abdominal is very minimum that weight loss. So I think
mm.
I'm just going to be spending some time with you to help me figure out based on my blood type what would be good for me.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, girlfriend. Sounds
Yes.
like a plan.
And I know that so many people, and I share that story because it's a real life story, is what I feel like we learned through the power of our coaching room that we attend. Like, there's power in your story and being authentic, right? And I
Absolutely.
know so many
Absolutely.
people can just relate to even that story that I just told. It's like, yeah, like that's me, that's my area. But you'll continue to bump your head, I feel, doing the same thing over and over again,
Oh, yes.
trying to do what you did before, many years before, to lose weight. But today you're a
It's
different person.
different
Your
every
body
time.
is
That's right.
different and it needs something different. And so when you don't see those results, you tend to get discouraged.
Courage,
And
right.
then when you get discouraged, you tend to say forget about it, and then you
Yep.
bounce right back to eating all the foods you shouldn't eat. You pretend that you're happy and living this life of just whatever, and
Yeah.
that's not true.
It's
you
not.
you just need to get a coach. You need to get somebody to help you along the way. And I love
Absolutely.
what you said too. So many things that you said that I'm like, oh, and I remember this and I remember that. But you also said that and this was before we started our conversation here. You said that you don't mind investing. And
No,
I
I
hope
don't.
somebody
Mhm.
listening today will say, you know what? She's speaking to my issue. She's speaking to my concern. She's speaking to my problem. And I don't mind investing not only financially, but I don't mind investing my time. I don't mind investing of just inquiring. Somebody just reach out to Terrell, audience, reach out to her just to really find out what she offers in detail. Because doing that, she may be the answer to your concern. How can they reach you, Terrell? How can they reach out to you?
Okay, I got so many. It's so funny. I realized that I have more handles than I realized. I'm on Facebook with my name. I'm on LinkedIn with my name. Those are two areas I'm on quite a bit. I'm on Instagram with my name. It's Terrell underscore LLYW. And Clubhouse. You can find me
Yeah.
in Clubhouse with my red glasses.
Yes. She is on Clubhouse. Yes, she is. And she always says, I am Terrell with the red
That's
glasses.
right. That's right. And it's interesting because this month we're doing lupus awareness. So I'll have a fundraiser going on May 10th, that Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday. We have a big fundraiser for the Lupus Alliance so that 100% of the proceeds can continue to fund
Awesome.
and find solutions. And, with autoimmune, a lot of these medications they use, they like to die down the symptoms of it, but they quote unquote don't have a cure for it. And I would say this because my lupus has been in remission since 2008. And my doctors are
Congratulations.
like,
Praise
keep doing what you're
God.
doing. And I feel, you know, it's what we're eating. It's how you're handling the world around you, the people around you. I have, if anybody's interested, let them contact you, Lady O. I have a video on energy zappers
Mm-hmm.
because people zap your energy so much. And for folks that have autoimmune conditions, stress is not good
Yes.
for us at all. Not good. It would cause inflammation, it would cause the flare ups to happen, and then you're back in square one. So I find ways to keep my stress level low. So I do
Yeah.
stuff that I enjoy. I source out stuff that I don't. I plan my day in a certain way. And every morning, because we talked about this,
We,
right?
as I said,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
We have our morning ritual because I
Yes.
don't do anything before 9, sometimes 10, depending on the day, because that's the way I have to keep myself going. Okay, everybody's different on their schedules. I know
Yeah.
with some people have little people, you got the spouse, you got maybe caring for
Yeah.
parents and all this other stuff. But find stuff and find a way of your schedule to work for you. Even if you're working, professionally, sometimes we just need to step away from the boss, step away from your
Yes.
colleagues, take a walk outside, smell the flowers and hear the birds chirping. Walk away from your desk. Do not eat at your desk. I can't tell you how many times I share this. Please do not eat at your desk.
Yeah.
Find, especially if you're working at home, take the opportunity and dress up your table. Use a placemat. Put some water glass there. Make your plate. Listen to the music and really enjoy the experience of chewing your food and having to sustain you during that time because it's a miracle. It really does work.
It is. It's so funny that you said that because I was one of those individuals who would eat at my desk. Even when I had my 9 to 5, I would just sit there and I would just eat at my desk. And even
Mm.
though I'm not working, or sometimes I would be working and eating at the same time, if people would come and interrupt me, and I'm like, oh, they'd be like, sorry to interrupt you. And I'm like, oh, it's okay.
It's
But
not okay.
it's not okay. And I'll take on their concerns. But what's happening is that my body doesn't know when did I take the break. It feels as if I continued on. And I found that mentally, emotionally, that I was exhausted on top of having a very strenuous commute. It made me, even more. So I felt like I was always on from 3:30 a.m. all the way up until 7:30, 8 o'clock
Wow.
p.m. is when
Wow.
I am on, and constantly. So yeah, knowing, and sometimes people don't like it, but I am when you and I spoke about it, I am very, strict when it comes down to my time, how I structure my day, how I structure my time. I cannot answer every phone call, nor can I be on every phone call for 2 hours at a time. It's just that because I don't get that time back. And if I give away that time, that's taking time away from something else. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy our conversation. It's just that if I have a vision for my week, like you're probably the same way like me. It's Monday, the beginning of the work week. All right, so I have a vision of how I want to see my work week go. In order to accomplish that, I have to know, okay, how much spare time do I have? And if I'm eating away my spare time doing things that's not going to fuel me and empower me, then what I'm just going to be burnt out and I'm not going to get the things done. So I love that you even said that. It's just like really
Yeah.
just taking time out and
Yep.
avoid those energy zappers.
Zappers. Yep.
You
So
have
like I
so much
said,
to offer people, Terrell. Like seriously, you have so much. My
that's what my
audience
coach
better go
said. My
on and
coach said
listen
the
to
same
you.
thing. She said,
Huh?
"Girl, my coach said the same thing. She said, "You got so much. You a gem in the making here. You right
Yeah.
there."
Listen, I'm making mental note. Like, yep, I'll be reaching out to her for that.
Oh yeah, that's a freebie. Anybody contact you on your platform, they want the energy zappers video. I would definitely hit them up for that. I'll definitely send that because I feel in that, I think it's like 20 minutes. I talk about how to really find your way, because in this world, even in your circles or people you're dealing with, so many things are hitting us that we're getting zapped and our energy is being depleted. And when your energy is depleted, then your sleep is affected, then your eating's affected, then your brain cells are affected, then your relationships are affected too, because they're feeling all of this
That's
too.
my
So
story. Why are you singing my song?
I'm singing it for you, baby girl, because it's so true. And when we talk about that, now that you said that, how many times have we said that to ourselves? I am so tired. But then you continue to push forward.
Continue.
Why? Stop.
Yeah, we don't
Breathe.
know. We don't know how to stop.
And I think it happens more with women
Yeah.
than men, because men kind of know, and that's another conversation I want to do in Clubhouse, just to tell you. We as women do all of these things. I remember reading one year that domestic engineer was 360,000. That was years ago. It must be $1 million now for us, all the stuff that we do as women in a household, right? How come men don't? I'm not saying all men, I'm just saying in general. So guys, don't get upset. But a lot of men don't take on that role to
Yeah.
support us in those areas. So we're doing the cleaning, the cooking, the child rearing, and they go to work. And you come home and you're still doing
Yeah,
even
you
if you're
still.
working, cooking, the cleaning,
Yeah.
taking care of the parents. You know, what are you
Yeah.
doing, guys? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Taking care of the
Yeah.
peers.
I love the way you looked over like, hello, what are you guys doing?
Give us some grace here, not just Mother's
It's
Day,
true.
but some other
It
day.
is true. It is true. And it's sometimes, a lot of times, we as women, ooh, we're gonna start up a conversation here, but we're not gonna go
Girl,
there. But sometimes we as women, we train our relation the men and we train men to be in a certain way based on how we were raised and our upbringing as well. So if we have
generational
oh
patterns, another topic to talk about, because I
that's
have
just
one in Clubhouse
we could
about the top five, the big top five diseases versus the generational patterns. Are they killing our Black people? That's what that conversation was. It's a deep one.
yeah. So this is one that you already had already, or you going
Yeah,
to
I
have?
had it already in Clubhouse, so anybody
Is
can
it
check
on
it.
replay?
Yes, there somewhere. Yep.
So, so when people click on your link on Instagram, let's say they go to find you on Instagram and they click on your link, would they be drawn to your clubhouse room or
No, not right
okay.
now, because I only do one thing at a time. So they'll have to go
Okay.
on Clubhouse and actually look for me. I guess I'll come up as coach. I'll come up as my tag name, Mrs. T. Sally.
Oh,
I
Mrs.
guess
T.
if they type,
Sally.
yeah, if they
Okay.
type in lupus, they'll see it. If they type in health, weight loss is in there. So certain SEO stuff in there should pop up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all this information because let me tell you, Terrell, you came on this platform and you really opened yourself up. And so not only told about your journey, but you really even told us about how to lose weight, based on the blood type and all the information you have about energy zappers. I mean, also like the platforms that you have been on Clubhouse and topics that you have discussed that will empower all of us. I mean, you
Mhm.
have such wealth of information, and I want to gather all that information from you. I'm going to put it all together and just really share it to the platform here because we all need to support each other. And I just said today, we have to learn how to ask for help. We
Yes.
don't want
Oh
to
my
ask for
gosh.
help. Pride is one of the biggest things. I know I've been there. I'm not saying this because I don't suffer from it. I've come from a woman who is very strong and independent. I've learned from her how to be a go-getter, how to hustle, and how to not ask for anybody for anything but make my own way, and toot my horn for it. But at the same time, I'm crying at night because it's like I just want somebody. Can somebody please help me? But this week, I have really proclaimed that no, we as women need to take off our cape. We need to put our pride to the side, not allow the pride to, like, the pride wants the ego to stand up and speak. No, you just have to ask for help. Put your pride
Yes.
to the side, put your ego to the side, and ask someone for help. And help can come in so many forms. It
Oh
can
yes.
come in the resources that someone has that is probably a monetary value, or it may not be. But you just have to seek after it and not be afraid. We're stuck in these prisons that we have built
Yes.
up for ourselves, and we're asking to be let out for parole, but not knowing that God has already given us the key to get out. We don't even need nobody to let us out. We can get out
That's
ourselves because
right.
we
The
have the
permission
key.
is there. He
Yeah.
gave you the permission already. So
Right.
you know we can have church up in here. Oh my gosh. And when you say ego, it's just edging God out. It's
Yes.
edging God out. Why would you do that? Ask for help. I can't tell you how many times I said that, especially, with health. It's like, and I think sometimes people are thinking, well, if I go ask her to help me as a coach, then I'm really showing that I'm vulnerable.
Oh,
I'm being transparent. Well, heck yeah, you are. Because you
I'm,
want to get help. You want to get healed. You want
yes.
to find a solution. Come on now, let's get
Coaches
healed.
need coaches. And I say that all the time. You said the very thing that I hear so many people say. So many times people get on these platforms such as Clubhouse and they want to present themselves as the expert. You are the expert in your field. Yes, but even experts have coaches. Like it's okay to show that, you know what, I don't know the answer to this area right here.
Exactly.
Why stay in
Oh
here
my
a day
gosh.
later? A day
And if you can
longer.
get a coach that gets you there faster, right? It's like a minefield, right? When women and men are in the war, they follow the soldier in front of them because it's a minefield, right? So you step in that spot all the way to where you got to get to because you don't want to get blown up.
Exactly.
Guys and
Yes.
girls, you're getting blown up every freaking day without doing anything, because you're not following someone that's done it before that can get you there faster and
Yes.
get you the results you need. So I am here. You
I
know,
love it.
anyone's looking to get some real some
Yes.
real loving or some real coaching here that want to make a change with regard to the health, getting rid of the inflammation, getting rid of the stress, getting rid of any of those top 5 that we talked about,
Yes.
look me up.
Look
That's
her
all.
up, everyone.
Yeah.
Look her up. Terrell Salley-Holliman. Look her up. I will have all the information in my contacts. I will share it all. But listen, Terrell, I'll be reaching out to you because you're definitely a resource in an area where I need to be strengthened. And so
Okay.
I'm going to connect with you. And I look forward to being on some platforms with you on Clubhouse
Yeah.
too, because
Yes.
I think we was about to go to church in here a moment ago, right? But I
And we have such great energy together, you know.
I know we
It's just like,
do.
it just flows. We
I'm
just
so
know
comfortable. Like I'm just so
comfortable.
laid back, comfortable, enjoying my conversation with you. But so we are going to wrap it up here. Is there any last words that you want to share besides your contact information, which I'll definitely provide? But what is some last minute messages you can leave people with?
Mm. Don't get weary in well doing because the seeds will be sown. You know, too often I see this happen. People quit on themselves, and you don't need to quit. You just got to keep moving forward and finding the sources and resources to help you out on that journey. And if it's the case for hiring a coach, hire a coach. If it's the case where you need support for a therapist, then get a therapist. If it's support where, you know, whatever it is, go
Yeah.
reach for it. Don't limit yourself, because when we limit ourselves, we don't get those opportunities to really do what we can to further ourselves and become a better version of ourselves, regardless of what area you're in. So that's what I like to share with you.
Terrell, everybody, drop the mic. Well, thank you. Thank you again for coming on the Coming Out of the Dark platform. It's an honor to have you. And
Yes,
everyone
thank
is going to
you.
be so blessed by what the information that you shared.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And thank you for having me on your podcast.
Of
I thought it
course.
was an honor to be here.
Of course.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please subscribe to this podcast and like, share, and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, be well, be safe, and be kind to yourself.